Excellent. Okay, you're the host now.
Good morning, everybody. So it's 30. If we maybe give 2 more minutes for some of the ladies to join in. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I can see our host, Janet, she's here this morning. Very delighted that she could make it. So welcome, and thank you for allowing us to have this workshop today to talk about health and wellness for women, and particularly migrant women. It's something that's never really talked about a lot. We just kind of keep quiet about it, with it by ourselves. So to have the space to talk about it this morning is amazing and great. So thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. I really appreciate you coming to do this presentation. So I think we should just give some few people some few minutes to see if they can.
Yeah.
If there are more people who are supposed to join us. So also, I would just like the participants to know that we'll be recording the Zoom. So, and we'd really like it to be interactive as we can. If you have any question, Deborah, I don't know if you feel comfortable for them to come in between to ask if they have any question, or will you prefer it to be at the end of the training?
If question, you can drop it in the chat, or if you raise your hand. So myself and Catherine will be kind of try to make this, or maybe Catherine will let me know if somebody has a question or if somebody's hand is up.
All right.
So like the way the workshop is going to work is something that we're doing because like we all have maybe one way of dealing with stress or pain, build our own mental health and well-being. So like the contribution from the women are welcome. So from my own part is just facilitating the conversation, really.
Okay.
So all the questions and recommendations are welcome.
Good morning,
can we advise anyone who is on the Zoom meeting to maybe mute your audio until maybe if you have a question, then you can unmute yourself, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning. Yeah, Deborah.
Yes.
Yeah, you anyway, how we do it, that is for women anyway.
Yeah.
So you have said it, and they are the one that is going to do it. So their own experience counts a lot. What we are doing. So we only do little. You teach, and they say their own experience, as you have said. I don't know. Maybe you can allow our people just say one or two things to welcome them. Just give them 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? The way we are doing it before, you know.
Catherine, do you mean like check-in with some of the women, how they're feeling this morning?
Just for 10 minutes. So
okay.
we don't change our route. Just give them some minutes and let them their coffee money. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, like Catherine, what I was saying is maybe we should give some people who are still waiting to join us. We should just give them about 5 minutes, and then maybe when everybody is in, they can just introduce themselves. Maybe their first name or whatever, and then
okay,
Deborah can go from there.
Okay.
Okay. Because we're about 15 already.
Yeah. Catherine, do you want to maybe call on anybody to just check? You want to do that?
Yes, I will do that now. Okay. Deborah, you can go first. Go first.
Okay. So in this morning, really, just kind of excited this morning and seeing how it's going to go. Overall, I'm fine. And yeah, I'm fine. I'm relaxed. I'm working from home this week, so relaxed, really.
And our host. How are you feeling during this week?
I'm just hanging on there. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Eileen.
Hiya.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling? How?
I'm not very good with this technology.
That's
Old
a new
person
where
in
we are.
charge of a mobile phone. Dangerous. Well, good morning to everyone, and thank you to Deborah and Catherine for hosting this. I'm so looking forward to actually just learning what the needs are, because it should be directed by those who have the need. So the service like Vision Community Supports needs to be led by the needs, and we can only find that out by talking to people and listening. I'm really looking forward to hearing everybody's contribution today.
Thanks. Yeah, TG. TG, Abigail. I know you use Abigail's TG.
Sorry, I was, yeah.
Say something. I know you use I know you use Abigail's name.
Yeah. I just, sorry, hi guys, how are you? I just entered, I don't know what you were talking about.
So we just use ourselves as usual. How are you feeling? That's
No,
just 1 minute. 1 minute.
okay. How are you guys?
We're doing good.
Let me go to Alda. Alda, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's my first time of being here. I'm looking forward to learning something and maybe contributing.
Oh, you are welcome. You come into our midst.
Thank you very much.
You will really enjoy us. Welcome to the family.
Thank you so much.
Arife, hey, unmute yourself, please. 1 minute.
Good morning.
Fine.
Sorry. Good morning, everyone.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Here I have my baby here.
Good morning. You are welcome. Doris, iPhone. Are you there?
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Very funny.
Yes.
Actually, it's my first time of being here, so I said, let me come and see and watch me here today, and maybe learn some few things.
Okay, you are welcome. Come.
Thank you.
Okay, Deborah and Grace, I would just like to let you guys know we might be getting someone from the HSC, or actually the funders, joining us at some stage during the meeting. So once she come in, I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
Yeah, she might just want to come in just to see how things are going and all that. So she's not here yet anyway. Yeah, She might
Okay.
join us at some stage during the.
No problem. Okay. Evelyn. Evelyn. Okay, let me go to Favor. Favor.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Grace, are
Yeah.
you there, Grace? Grace?
Grace Aswachala.
Yes, Grace.
It's like she on.
Okay, let me go on. Let me
she's on
go on
mute.
because of time.
Yeah, we can just go ahead.
iPhone, I don't know your name, please. You use iPhone.
Yeah, there's Olga there, Olga and Jumbe.
Okay. Okay. Nafisat.
I don't think they can hear us.
Good morning. Nafisat.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, all of you.
Good morning. Voleta. Voleta.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Because of our time, we are rushing this morning. I'm so sorry, guys. We can't say anything at the moment. I just want to say good morning to all of us. So, Olga, good morning. Nokia 2.4. I'm sorry. Good morning. Ka.
Yes.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How is everyone?
No, good. Sandul, good morning. Olga, good morning. Everyone.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Please, can we?
Good morning.
We want to start. Let's mute our.
Oh, you didn't mention my name.
Sorry.
You didn't call me.
Who is that?
Please.
Falake.
Falake, yeah. Okay.
And myself, you didn't mention me. Goodness.
Sorry.
And there's goodness, yeah. Oh my God.
I was the one that sang for last week.
Folake, I'm so sorry.
No problem,
I'm sorry. You know, when I'm calling the name, your name just, I couldn't see your name there. But now I can see your name. Maybe it's my
it's fine.
I'm so sorry. Good morning.
Good morning. It's fine.
And we enjoy you. We enjoyed last week. Thank you for that. God bless you.
Yes, okay.
Sorry, I don't forget you, but I couldn't see your name there.
Okay.
God bless.
Right. Thank you, ma.
I didn't hear my name too.
What's your name, please?
They called you Grace. They called you Grace. They didn't call my name Goodness.
Oh, there's goodness on the group
please?
as well.
Goodness. I'm using the novel, yeah.
Oh, goodness here. I see goodness in my life.
I'm using the novel tablet.
Okay, the novel tablet. Oh, I'm sorry. You see?
That's all right.
Good morning. I hope
good to hear from you ladies. Good to have you guys here.
Thank you. Good morning,
and
everyone.
I'm looking forward to hear from the guest speakers,
And we enjoyed it. You will enjoy and you will learn.
I have been enjoying it for a past year.
Yes. And you will have another experience from our host today. So let's just and I'm so sorry. Let me do now. Our yoga will be on next week Friday. We won't do yoga today. I'm so sorry for that. Because we don't have time. And whatever we are doing today, you will enjoy it.
No problem.
Our own net.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will advise us, all of us, we should mute our mic.
Okay.
And when you want to say anything, please go to the section where the message, you will just, you raise up your hand or you test. Thank you.
All right.
To you, Deborah.
Thank you, Catherine. So good morning and welcome everybody again. So today we're talking about health and wellness and how to support ourselves. To just not just health and wellness by words, but like how we every day, manage our health, how we every day manage and support. So like you all know, my name is Deborah Onia. I'm part of the women of the Coffee Morning Group. So you say, oh, Deborah, what qualifies you to talk about health and wellness? And so apart from just, being a facilitator, I also studied trauma. So I did trauma. I have a postgraduate diploma in trauma studies. So I have kind of like a little bit of knowledge around health and wellness, and I'm also a migrant woman, and I'm also a mother with children, and I also have to take care of my health, and I have to understand what it takes to feel well and ease in my body, and how possible it can be for make myself happy and seek help or contact and support myself. So we're going to run through stress. We're going to talk about stress, what stress is, how to identify stress, how we can identify stress within our body, and what to do and how to handle stress. That's generally what we're going to talk about. And if we look back at arriving Ireland and like back home, there are different kind of stress, like we all go through different kind of, and it's very difficult to know what to do. So so if we define stress is a physical and psychological to a situation that place pressure on an individual. And stress can result of change. It can also come as a result of migration. It can also come as a result of having just giving birth. If I even say my own story, I remember when I just had my child, like my world turned upside down, like 360 from like flip, like, so it was really very difficult, but I was grateful to have like family around me. And also kind of just coming to Ireland and being in the direct provision, that is for me is like a level 10, between 1 and 0 is like a level 10. Change, is a change. It brings pressure. Even living in the direct provision in itself is very stressful. So how can we manage stress? So any life event that requires person to adjust or adapt in some ways is stress. So say you come from your country where you used to cook for your own children before and decide what you eat, and then you move into a different environment where you decide what to eat. You don't, whatever is given to you is what is given to you. Your time is managed. There is the fear of the uncertainty. So that can be really stressful, and that can cause stress. And we wonder, how do I adjust to this? How do I adapt to this kind of stress? So so stress can also be as a result of not having money, not having enough money, or not being able to work. Like even being in direct provision, you have the right to work, but if you have kids, how do you work? Or even if you have a job, the work permits kind of like a restriction of the number, say 1 year. So you go and meet your employer, or say like the work permit you have being in direct provision is different from what that person will have. So some of the employer don't even understand what the piece of paper is saying. So there's the financial, there's also the relationship stress, like being in the direct provision system. Everybody in the direct provisions kind of going through one stress or another. They come with their own personal trauma or things that worries them. And some, you say because you're unable to deal with your stress, everything is kind of like a trigger. So building relationship is very hard. You're like, who do I trust? Do I trust this person? Who do I talk to? So there's a stress of relationship. There's also the stress of health concerns. So some people might have like migraine or pressure or sugar problem or diabetes. Some might have like anxiety or panic attacks. So anxiety and panic attack is like short of breath. For me, I think that was like what I had, not be to breathe, like you in your head, something in your head is telling you, oh, you're going to die today, So it's really kind of, it wasn't something that you can explain except actually go through it. So it kind of just comes and then it passes as if nothing happens. But being in that time, just having that panic attack and not being able to breathe is stress that causes it. It's also lack of parenting support or childcare. And say you ask, where do I keep my child? So that can be really very stressful. On top of the list, really hierarchy of papers, of having our papers. That is really, because especially if you come with your kids and then you come and say, I left my country to come to this place, and you don't know, you don't even have control over what happened. You don't know when they're going to call you for interview. You don't know when the response is going to come. You don't know what the response is going to be. There's that fear of just the system itself, and even when you go for interview, the way and and then you feel what's coming out because of the kind of relationship, the way they talk to you and say, oh, I don't believe you, or I believe you, or and trigger to all the traumas that we came with. So it's really very difficult. And sometimes we feel like we're alone. You think that, oh, nobody understands, it's only me, but it's not only you system. Or even if the direct provision system, you are a migrant. We all have that isolation space where you feel like, I'm alone, I don't understand this is a new culture. Make friends, how do you connect to people? It can really be very stressful. Or you say, you might be able to speak English, but you say, okay, will the person understand what I'm speaking? Or you might have like language barrier. So that can be really, really very stressful. If you look at your screen, you see the diagram of different stress level. So let's check in on everybody. Even if one or two of you can say, okay, in between, are you under load burden stress? So maybe like small stress, or the stress level is very high, or it's just say, okay, I'm just okay. When you say you're just okay, you say, okay, this is the stress I'm going to, something I can deal. If it's a stress that you can deal with, is an okay stress. But if it's the stress that is completely out of your control, is kind of like a peak stress, is really very high. And those times is when you don't sleep, you are thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. I did a personal development course with Shep, and they say thinking and worrying is like a rocking chair. When the rocking chair that you sit on, you are just in one place, you're just rocking and rocking and rocking, but nothing is happening because you're in the same spot. So, and it's okay to worry, and it's okay to stress, and it's okay to be in that space. But then again, you ask yourself, if I'm sitting on this rocking chair, is that all that there is? But that's not all that there is. There's more. The rocking chair and the worrying will not support us. We need to maybe at some point stand up from the rocking chair and maybe move out of the room. So moving out of the room could be meeting somebody, or making contact with somebody, or talking to somebody, or talking to a GP, or getting help, or joining a support group. So being at the peak stress level is not ideal for anyone. It's not the space that you should be in and say you want to carry it by yourself. It's not okay to want to do that. So if I could check in with one or two people, or if you don't want to say anything, that's okay too. Like, in this moment, here and now, what will you say your stress level is? You can put it in the chat. So we say between 1 and 10, you say your stress level is 1, or is 1 being I'm okay, 5 being I can take care of it, 7 being or is a little bit stressful, and 10 being way up there. So if I can throw it back at all of us, what will you say it is between 1 and 10? So Arife said stress level is a 6. If you don't want to type in the chat, you can unmute yourself and just let me know.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
Okay. For me, my stress level is around 7.
Okay.
Yeah, and do you want me to support that to give the reason why?
Yes, please. Absolutely. If you're okay to say it, yeah.
Okay. Gathering from everything you've spoken about, yeah, that's true. As for my own stress, coming into Ireland, like you said, that's like going back to what you said, but the thing that really hit me was when I lost my mom. I couldn't deal with that. I don't know if I fell into depression. I can't really tell because I was never diagnosed as being depressed. Life kept going on. I was going to school and everything, but things were never the same again. Like up till today, I'm still at that point where it's like it happened today, and this has been almost 17 years. I haven't still gathered myself and put things together. I had blood pressure from that, and many other things followed. You know, when you have blood pressure, other complications, they will fall in place. So till that, like, anyway, I'll say my life hasn't been the same. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
We're listening.
Can I know who is speaking, please? Deborah, do you get the name of the person who is speaking? Hello, Deborah.
Who was speaking just now?
Olga Jr.
Okay, that's Olga.
Olga, okay.
Yeah. I just want to contribute a little bit to what Olga is saying. I want to say that losing a mom is something that is very difficult to kind of just digest it straight away. I am in the same position at the moment. And I think that thought of losing a mom, someone that is kind of attached to you, will always come. It comes and it goes. There are times that you'll be fine, and there are times that you kind of feel a little bit low. But for me, the way I manage mine is, most of the time, if I'm having that thought, if I feel like crying, I do. It's okay to cry rather than holding it. Because if you hold it in, it might cause you other health issues. Like, it's okay to cry, but how I manage that thought sometimes, if it comes and I realize it helps, is that I count 1 to 10 sometimes, especially when I'm sleeping at night. Immediately I have that image of my mom. I start counting 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10. It's kind of like distracting myself. Before I know, I go into sleep, like, rather than just leaving your thoughts free and, because those memories will come, they keep coming, but there are times that we ourselves, we have to really try to manage those feelings, and for me, it works. I don't know if it works for others, but for me, the only way I could sleep, immediately I get that thought, I start counting 1 to 10, and it works. Before I know, I go into sleep, like. Yeah. So Deborah, do you have anything else?
So I do. So what I would say, Olga, is in your situation, the situation of losing your mom is you're not alone. Like we've had, I remember there's a lady in the group that lost her mom during COVID, and it was like, you think that is a very difficult time, and you need to honor your feelings. Like if you like Janet was saying now, like if you feel like crying, cry. If you it's like the rocking chair, and it's bigger than that, is your mom. And if you remember at the beginning of the talk, I was saying I suffered panic attack. It was during my course, my trauma course in UCC, that I understood that my panic attack was as a result of me losing my mom when I was very young. I lost my mom when I was around 9, and nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about what death meant. Nobody talked about anything. So as a child, I was always thinking in my head that mommy was going to come back. You know, I only came to the realization that when people die, they don't come back when I was in university. So that's of, you know, the loss that was not processed was what used to trigger my anxiety and my panic attack. And growing up, anything that feels like lost kind of brings it back. It makes me, because I remember, you know, arriving in Ireland, it was more often than it was when I was back home, because there was a huge loss of, you know, losing my family, not being able to do stuff, being isolated. You know, you kind of sit with whatever is going on with you. And, you know, being in the direct provision, and especially when you're not working or when you're not going to school, when you're not doing anything, you sit with your emotion. It's really very hard. So you is like, you know, Janet was telling you about counting from 1 to 10. Like for me, I have so many tools that I use now to support myself. And I think counseling was one of them. For me, the beginning of my journey was, you know, going into counseling. I remember the first counseling, since being in Ireland 4 years, I've been in counseling twice. The first time I couldn't share it with anyone because, like, culturally, you feel like if you tell somebody you're going into counseling, it looks like you are crazy for going into counseling. Like, you must be crazy to go to counseling. So, like, I didn't tell anyone. But the outcome of going into counseling for me kind of really did support me. So I tell anybody now that is going through any form of psychological be like head, you know, like the stress or anxiety or panic attack or depression or anything, go seek counseling. You know, like for me, I didn't ask for it. It was my GP that said, I think you need to go into counseling. That would be good for you, you know. And I said yes to it. And I think what is different from where most of us are coming from is in Ireland, there's support.
Yeah.
You know, so don't ever think that there's no support or you are alone. There's support for everything. If it's education, there's support for it. If it's a mental health issue, there's counseling. There's phone call service that you can call for free. Never ever feel that you're alone, and whatever you're going through, somebody else is going through it. And if you seek that support, that's when you will know that you're not alone. So like I would say I did the work, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still healing. I'm still processing my losses and everything that happened. Because being in the direct provision system in itself is traumatic. It triggers many of the things that we are avoiding. That's, you know, so it's really very hard. Thomas says our stress level is 7.5. Zandile says 8. Abigail's hand is up. Do you want to say something? Somebody's hand is up.
Folake says 8.
Who? Zandile? Who?
Folake 8.
Okay, Folake says 8. Okay.
And Arife 6.
Yeah, okay.
And Sandoz 8. And TG.
And I think what is great with this exercise, okay.
TG is 5 and 6. Between 5 and 6.
Okay. And I think what is great with this exercise is you being able to identify where you are in the moment and say, this is where I am in the moment. And recognizing that I'm stressed, and it's okay to be stressed. Like, stress is normal. Everybody go through stress. It's just we all have different level of stress. But just recognizing it and identifying it is what's great about what we are doing right now. And if you, at the end of the session, if you want to rate, if you go back to, for me, it has worked for me. And I think because it worked for me, it's going to work for, if you, it's identifying it really do work. If your stress level is like 7 or 8, you find out that after the session, you find out like you're like a 5 or like a 4. Or it's not just knowing that I'm not the only one stressed, like there's a lot of people that are 8 and 7 and 6, but identifying it is great. And stress, it speaks to us in our body. Like for me, I remember when I was doing my chef course, and they say the facilitator was saying, if you are stressed, where do you feel it? And for me, I said it was my chest and my throat. And so if you look within yourself now, some of us will start having like serious headache. Some of us, we are not able to sleep. Some of us is just back pain. Some of us, we kind of keep repeating, whatever is stressing us in our head. You just keep playing it and keep playing it. And I think replaying it in the head is not at all good, because it might just be like a small story. And then the next time you play it, it gets bigger. And then the next time you play it, it gets bigger. Then you begin to color it. You color the stress and make it very huge. And then, it's really very big. And sometimes what I realize is it gets bigger in our head if we don't talk about it. Because you have designed it from a very small house to a very big house. But it's not a big house of a good thing. It's a big house of stress. So it's important that we talk about it in a safe space, like not just knocking on your neighbor's door, say, knock, knock, please, I'm going to, and then you download it. If the neighbor cannot support you, you kind of feel what's coming out of it. So, but just replaying it and replaying the stress in our head doesn't really support. We need to find a safe space to talk about it. So it could be your GP, it could be like the coffee morning, it could be like, for me, I know sometimes I talk to Naomi, even Arife, I talk to Arife, and there's a lady in my apartment, her name is Nafisa. She's kind of like the most wisest person I've ever met in my life. She does, if I say that, she'll be smiling, she doesn't believe it. But I remember before I got my residency and we were going on a walk in the park, and there was something she said to me. She said, look, you applied for visa. You decided you wanted to leave. You applied for visa, they gave it to you. You got visa, they gave it to you. You traveled, you got here. You got to the IPO, they let you in, then they gave you a space to stay with your children. Even if it's not the best of place, like maybe it might be 1 room or 2 room, but like you are here, but just realizing that, for me, but it was the truth, but just for her to just play it back to me was really like, they say, we call it like an aha moment, like was just really a truthful moment for me. And then if I want to worry, sometimes I kind of think back and say, okay, but I'm here now, I'm here now. So it's just realizing that there is this stress, but you are here now and you are alive. And some of us, if you talk about the things that you've gone through and you see that you are still here and you're still working and you're still alive, it's enough for you to look at yourself and say, I am a strong person. I am a strong woman. And until we acknowledge that, look at your journey and acknowledge how strong you are, you will keep stressing, because your strength is bigger than your stress. Our strength is bigger than our stress. I'm looking at Monique now, and I'm looking at Evelyn, and I'm looking at where's the lady that was holding her child, that was wearing a robe and holding the child and being in the room. It's the strength that I'm seeing. I'm seeing the strength of the women that have left whatever they are doing today to just be in this space. And I'm looking at Gonaz that lives with us, and she's here and she's got 4 kids, and taking care of the kids and going routine every day, and looking at Biosa, Nafisa, and I can't call all the names, but we all draw strength from each other and seeing all the things that you're doing. And some of us are going to school, given the situation, and taking care of our kids and having small children and showing up every time and being open to learn and being in this space today to learn about stress and mental health and wellness and how to support ourselves, you see that your strength is even bigger than the stress. Or sometimes we give the stress more power. It's because we give it power because we are not really talking about it. And I hope as we're talking about it today, we realize that even though stress can be 8, we can also look at our strength and say, okay, maybe my stress can be 5 or can be 4, you know. So stress comes, we feel it in different ways. It can come in high blood. If you stress yourself too much, you start taking you get high blood pressure. I remember just being in the system the first few months. That was before I went into counseling. I was wearing blood pressure monitor on my hand because I never had blood pressure before, like high blood pressure. But every time I go to the GP, my blood pressure was high. So the monitor was to determine whether they will start giving me medication or not, you know. So, but I thank God I didn't get to take medication. I chose to go into counseling, and you know, through counseling, I joined the Coffee Women, and I started meeting amazing people. I started going to courses, and I started leaving my room, because it's very important to leave your room. There's nothing happening in that room. It's in that room that we decorate our stress and make it a palace when it's really not, you know. So stress will bring high blood pressure. It will give us headache, muscle pain, back pain, sometimes weakness in your leg, isolation, you're not able to sleep. Stress is not a good thing. So sometimes it can be a good thing, but it's really not. So it's I'm looking at the I have this slide, and I was saying maybe we share within ourselves, where do you feel your stress? Like for me, if I start having my right shoulder start hurting, before I didn't know, but now what I do, I begin to ask myself, what is stressing me now? Because that's where it starts. And then my chest start getting tight, you know. Before I know what's happening, I start having panic attacks. So, but now I can name it, because I'm doing work, and I've gone through counseling. I've learned about trauma. I've gone through personal development. So I catch it on time. So when I start feeling tension in my shoulder, I know that stress is starting. So I kind of relax, and I ask myself, what is causing the stress now?
Deborah, sorry to interrupt. Yes. It's just I'm aware that Marie's had her hand up for quite a while.
Okay. Can we give space for Marie to say something?
Yeah, there are like 4 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Abigail should go first. Abigail was up before me.
Okay. Please.
Abigail, go please.
Thank you for letting me know. I was just chatting away. Okay, Abigail.
Okay, let me say it, Abigail. Sorry, there's a waste, Gannet. Yeah, I think before me there was the lady. She was asking, she was saying something. I was reading the hand before that, and most of them already Deborah answered the question. Most of them want to say it already, but for me, I would say 5 or 6. There is stress level, but after I hear you, Deborah.
I can't really hear you. The line is breaking. I don't know if it's just me.
I think there's a problem with the line. Other than network.
Are you using a headphone? Maybe you talk directly to.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We can't hear you.
The level was 5 or 6. Oh, sorry.
We can't hear you.
We
can't hear you. CG, we can't hear you.
Yeah, if not another one, they can go, because I don't want to take the time.
Okay, do you know what, Abigail? Maybe if you can switch off your video, you might be able to speak clearly. Just switch off your video, then maybe you might come back. Okay, let's see if you can. Can you just repeat it?
It's okay. I can go on another one, because don't worry about me.
We can hear you now. I think we can hear you. If you can pray.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I would say my stress level is 5 or 6. Is it gone again?
No, go on. Go on. Let's see. I think.
Okay. Just leave me. I think let me leave it. Go another one, please. Sorry, because I don't want to take your time. I'm like it even myself. It's a breaking, you know. Sorry about that. And you can go the next one.
We can hear you clearly now, Abigail.
Yeah, I would say my stress level is 5 or 6 and earlier, but I don't think so. I'm the right saying because sometimes I can control my stress. Of course, I do, and sometimes I can't. The while, you know, and to be honest, I don't know exactly the number I can give it. That's why I was wondering because after Deborah answered the question, you know, so it just they come and go. Some days like you can kind of fine, and as you can feel it in your heart, tired, and you just don't know what to do sometimes. Especially that's me. I don't know what to do. If I want to dress up and going, if I go to shop, I don't know what I'm gonna buy. And I'm coming home, everything's I'm supposed to buy. You know the kind of stress I have.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's changed. The stress all the time change, different level and different kind of pain, different that. And sometimes I feel, of course, I manage my stress very well. You know, I always thinking about the council. They will say that I never be there, but I always want to try. But I think I have to do it. I think it might help a lot. Yeah, and being a mom is like that's normal. Even you are in your own country, and here is the more worse because of you know, no one here, a lot of things to do, and that's I don't know how to say. That's my stress, to be honest. Maybe the rest of them they can answer. Yeah. So Deborah, most often she already answer. That's my level. My yeah. Thank you anyway.
Okay. All right. Can I just come in now to add to what Abigail was saying there? It goes to what I was going to my own contribution, because Abigail is talking about different parts of her body, different level of stress. I was just going to say from my own experience, working my mental health background, it's about knowing yourself. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So it's about knowing your body. Talk about early warning sign. What's her name? I like the well-being police there. So if you know your body, I think that's a trick with me. If you know yourself, you'll be able to catch the stress, the level of stress early enough. It's very hard. Like the earlier speaker was talking about the pain in her shoulder. Mine will be the back of my neck. But maybe to Jane, it may be front headache. And to another person, it could be stomach ache, right? No two people are the same. So it's about understanding your own body. And then when you know that when the pain in my back of my head starts, that you ask yourself questions like, what's going on now? What's stressing me up now? So if you're able to catch that stress early enough, you can deal with it quicker and better. That's from my own personal experience. So what I tell my friends or the people I work with is like, know yourself, know your body. We all have stresses, like, you know, even driving through traffic, little things do stress us. It's not only about the death of a parent or coming to a country like this. Little things, working with people do stress you. So if you start feeling the pain, your headache comes, and you know why you have that headache, it's easy to deal with it. But if you don't know why you have the headache, like I will not go to a GP for a pain in the back of my head now, because I know that it's because I didn't sleep well. That's how it manifests to me the next day. But if I don't know why I'm having this pain, then it's a reason for me to go to a GP. So my own contribution is adding to the well-being police is knowing yourself. That's the first treatment. And knowing yourself is knowing the things that stress it to you. knowing what helps. Like for example, Jane just spoke about crying. I will cry, I will sing, I will dance, I will play music to distract myself. That works for me. Some other person may like to cook food, eat, buy chocolate. That's what works for you. So it's about knowing your body. If you know that crying helps, reduces my stress, cry. Music helped me. I go into my bedroom, I play my music, I sing along, I dance, and I cry. I come and have my shower, I come out, I feel better. It helps me. So if I'm talking and it doesn't work for you, you take what works for others and try. And that's how you add to your own coping mechanisms. So the early warning sign, I think, is a key, because if you don't know why you're stressed, it's hard to deal with it. But if you are stressed because of the thought of your family or that, then even if you go to a counselor, you're going to address that. But if you are not sure of why you are stressed, it's hard. So my contribution, like for today, is just know your body, know why you're stressed, and know where it hits you, so it'll be easy for you to deal with it. That's
Okay, Deborah. You're still there.
I thought there was 3 people.
Okay, were there 3?
Yeah.
Let me see who's the next person then.
Folake.
Folake, okay.
There is Folake there.
Folake, can you hear us?
Folake and Aida.
Hello, Folake, can you unmute, please? I don't think she's hearing us.
Olake, we can't hear you. Maybe you're on mute so that you can speak.
Volikas. Deborah, Volikas.
Who?
Maybe you go ahead. Maybe when they come, you go back.
Volika's hand is up. Maybe it's a mistake. I don't know. Deborah.
Are you calling me?
She can speak if she can hear you. She can speak.
Okay. Yes. You raise up your hand.
Me?
Yes, that's.
Yeah. Sorry. Good. I want to say something. I don't know. My level of stress is maybe 10 or more than 10. Sorry for my English. I think
your English is fine. We can hear you.
When I left my country, I leave I come with my daughter, my young daughter, my last daughter, and I left my son. It was 9 years old. Can you imagine? You leave your country, and you left your son in 9 years old. When I came here, I was crying every day. Everything I was doing, my mind was back home, because I was thinking about my son. It wasn't easy for me to understand. I leave my son in that age. It's like Deborah tell us, a mommy. She lost a mommy she was 9 years old, and I was thinking about it every day. But after that, I was sick. I go to GP, and my blood pressure, whatever. But I say no. I have to. I don't have to think about it, but I have to do something to forget. But every day I was running and doing exercises and dancing. Everything, every activity I was going, because I was doing that to forget to forget my son. And I was waiting for my paper. It takes long. They give me paper after 5 years, and the paper they give me, I can't bring my son here, and my stress was more than before. because when I wasn't got my paper, I say, oh, I'm strong. I do something make me strong. I'm still waiting for my paper. And when I got it, it wasn't that which one I was thinking. They were supposed to give me, and that it was more stressful for me. And then I start to go to the GP. I talk with my GP. I talk with my friend, and one friend sent me to a psychology doctor. And when I was going to therapy. It's helped me so much because the therapy, they tell you, talk with psychology, what is your stress, and it help you to do something like because I wasn't sleeping, I was take the tablet for sleeping. Every day, if I don't take the tablet, I can't sleep. And for years, or that it was very, very full stress for me. But something helped me good. It was prayer. I was pray every day. I was say, God, for myself, I can't. I was just waiting for miracle for me, because I was like stuck. But when I got the paper, my lawyer tell me, I know you have you're thinking too much about your son. I have to do something. You do appeal to bring your son here. I say, okay. But I do my appeal, and they give me now, last month, they give me a refugee status, but now I can bring my son. I think but now I I want to talk to everyone. If I got sick, or I do something bad, I will be not strong to do appeal or to do something. But now I feel strong, because I do what I do the best. I do what I can do to bring my son here. But I'm so happy now.
Good.
Hello.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you for sharing, Monique.
Sorry.
Thank you for sharing your
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you everyone for sharing. What I would just like to mention is, so I have this here. It say worry, but don't worry. Because it's funny, if the worry is really if the stress level is high, you say, don't stress, don't stress, don't stress. But you find out that you're still stressing. So it's for us to know that stress or getting worried is normal. It's very normal for you to worry. It's normal for you to stress, but it's not okay for you to stay worried and to stay stressed. So if you're stressed, identify it, that look, I am stressed, but then what? I'm stressed, but then what? Sometimes when people are stressed, they eat too much, they have excessive eating, they just start getting big. Some they stop eating. So that is not okay. Either way is not okay. So for some, we just avoid it and pretend, oh, this is not there. So for sometimes we withdraw from people, we want to stay by ourselves. We say, okay, you staying by yourself doesn't even really help. Like, that is even worse. Or you say you argue with people, or I remember when I was in Kinsale accommodations, and like you just hear people quarreling and fighting for the most smallest thing. But if you look at it from the other side, and you're saying, why are these people quarreling from the smallest thing? But it's not actually the smallest things that is making them quarrel. Is an underlying maybe stress within yourself. It's just a better way for them at that time to just discharge or release whatever stress that is going on. Or feeling sorry for yourself. Feeling sorry for yourself is not okay, because sometimes when you feel you are feeling sorry for yourself is different from having empathy for yourself. Feeling sorry for yourself is like blaming yourself, oh, this is my fault, it's because of me, or bringing yourself down. But having empathy for yourself is recognizing how far you've come. This is how far I've come, and I'm here, and I've gone through this, and I've gone through that. If you're able to even list all the things that you've gone through and that you've survived, what you will do is you actually hug yourself and say, even me, I cannot. I say, Deborah, you have tried. You have tried in this lifetime. You have tried for everything that you've been through, and that you are still standing. So if we can just within ourselves now in your own space and give yourself a hug and call your name and tell yourself, you have tried. Can we do that in 30 seconds and hug yourself? Marie, can you hug yourself?
No, sorry.
Hug yourself and call your name and say, well done, Deborah. Call your name and say, well done. Say that to yourself.
Well done, Janet. You've
Empathy
tried.
and compassion for
I've really
yourself.
tried for this
Because when
time.
we give it
Thank you, Jesus.
ourselves, and if somebody else outside gives it to us, we can accept it. So thank you for doing that with me. Okay, so in identifying, like I said, stress and worry is very normal, but identifying this stress, what can I do about it? It's like the rocking chair. The rocking chair is the worry, is the stress. But if we keep staying on the rocking chair, there's no solution. But if we ask ourselves, what can I do about it? And most times with stress, there are two ways. There are some that you can do something about, and there are some that you cannot do something about. The one that you can do something about is the one within your control. The one that you cannot do something about is the one outside of your control. So we're going to identify the things that we can control. So the things that I can control is the food that I eat, I can control that one. When to ask for help, I can control that one. How I speak to myself and my own self-talk, I can control that one. The people that I can call my friends, like you cannot control where you, like say you are living in a provision, you cannot control where you are sent to, but you can control the people you talk to. You can control the people you want to sit with. You can control the places you want to go. That is within your control. What I like to focus on when it comes to stress and mental health and wellness is the things that you say to yourself when nobody's watching. And one thing I learned also from the workshop is be your own best friend. If the things you are saying to yourself is not what you will say to your best friend, then the things you are saying to yourself is wrong. So things that you're saying to yourself is, I'm not enough. Or say you get a decision and the decision is a no. And then you start blaming yourself, oh, this is my fault. I didn't do it well. I did this. That is outside of your control. And then maybe we start talking down on yourself. That is within your control. What you say to yourself is within your control. So for me, what I learned is to keep telling myself I am enough. I have something written on my wall in my room. I am enough. So I say it every time. So instead of me to stress, I kind of change my self-talk to I am enough. It might just be as simple as that, but it's you just telling yourself that you are enough. That is within your control. The things you say to your children, but especially when you're angry, the words that we say, those things, we can actually control them. How you can control them is actually taking a step back instead of reacting immediately. Is to maybe hold your breath and hold your pulse and say, okay, you breathe. You find out that if you don't respond immediately, not even to your children, like the way you relate to people or you relate to yourself, even if you breathe before you speak, your response is different from when you actually say something. Those things are the things you can control. You can control if you want to get education, particularly in Ireland. Maybe not third level education. That one you have to apply for scholarship, or if you there are QQI centers that offer free courses, online courses. So if you want to get more education, you can control that. You can control your time. So if you can share with me any other thing that you know that is within your control. You can control whether you want to smile or laugh. That's one too. So if we can all sit down here now and I'm frowning my face and I say, why am I frowning? Let me smile. You can smile. That you can control. So you can actually control your mood. So Will anybody want to share other things that is within your control, that you know that you have control over that I have not mentioned?
Maybe our thoughts. We can control our thoughts, what we're thinking about.
Yeah.
Where do you focus your thoughts on? Do you think of the positive, or you're always on the negative side? This thing is not going to work. I'm not going to make it. Like you said, you have a vision or something that looks like a vision board. Giving positive affirmations to ourselves is very important, especially as mothers to young children. It's very important because our days are very busy. Some are also at work, and with everything that's happening around, we just need to always be positive to ourselves, what we are thinking, because our thoughts engage our actions. And if you're thinking negative, definitely the next thing that will follow is a negative action. So to me, I control a lot what I'm thinking about, and I take a break before I react, or I don't even react at all, because statistics have shown that when you react instantly, then later you're tempted to regret that action. So knowing what your triggers are, what makes you upset, I think it's really thinking what your thoughts are. And there are a few ways that I can suggest for some ladies here. Maybe meditation, they can practice meditation, go for walks, baking, and thinking about eating. It can be a positive as well as a negative way to control stress, because some people tend to overeat and then gain so much weight, or they undereat. So eating, one has to really be able to know themselves and know what level they can go, how far they can go, and what is enough for them. So I think really just thinking about your thoughts and knowing yourself, knowing when to stop, knowing when to say no, really helps a lot to control stress. Thank you.
Deborah, can I just add to what that sister said? You can control how you sleep. Even the other said you can't cheat nature. So we could, if you don't sleep well, it can cause stress. So you can control how you sleep. We know ourselves. Let me come to our own now. We women, we can watch movie. You can go to work. Yes. And come back, you do everything, pre. And you cook, you eat, and you watch movie. Some ladies, we can watch movie 24 hours. You won't sleep. And even you don't watch movie, you can speak on phone for hours. You don't sleep. By the time you want to get a nap, it can cause headache. And that headache can cause stress. And that stress can cause nag. And that nag can cause mental illness. So sleeping is very, very important for we women and for mothers. We need enough sleeping. Thank you. Over to you, Deborah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone for sharing. That is really, I see when Katrin was talking, like I was just looking at the ripple effect of one thing that you didn't do well. Not sleeping that leads to headache and nagging and restlessness and mood swing. But it's just one thing that can lead to many things. That's how I think that's how the self-talk also is. Like if you're positive, if you're a positive person, within what you say to yourself, it kind of relates to the way you talk to other people, your moods, your mannerism, the way you see life. Like one good thing has like a positive effect in everything around you. So those are some of the things that we can control. So the things outside of our control. And I think as women, we love our children so much, and we want everything to be perfect, that we want to control everything. Even the next door neighbor that is not even doing well, we even want to extend our control to the next person. But there are some things that is outside of our control. And those things that is outside of our control, do what you can and then let it go. So the things that are outside of our control that I have on the slide is other people's action. The way people react to you is none of your business. You know, the way words that people say to you is none of your business. There's an illustration. I was in one workshop and one lady gave an illustration of when you are dealing with somebody that is negative, you are dealing with somebody that is negative. The person is giving you like a spoon of what the person is carrying. So a negative person kind of look at you and say, and tell you something that is not nice. The person is giving you a spoon of what they are carrying. They are carrying the whole well or the drum. That's what they, so what you should actually feel for the person is empathy and say, oh, this person, instead of you to react, you know, is to feel empathy for the person, because the person is just giving you a small dose of what they are carrying. So sometimes you meet some people, they're just not smiling, or they're angry, or you greet them, they don't answer you. You think it's your fault. I say, this person, I will never ever greet this person again. It's not actually not about you, it's who the person is. So if you can separate yourself and say, this is this person and this is me, and I cannot control that person, then it reduces your stress, you know. What you cannot control is other people's mistake. Like, so people make mistake, even you as human, you make mistakes. Is acknowledging that, okay, I made a mistake. You learn from them instead of just carrying it. Because if you even look back at the time that you made the mistake, you did what was best in that moment. So it's honoring that, okay, you know, like being a first-time mom, we didn't do everything perfect with the second child, you know, but it's acknowledging that I learned from that and forgiving yourself, you know. And also the things that are outside of your control is other people's feeling. You cannot, if you are happy and somebody is not happy, sometimes like they say, happiness is contagious, or so is somebody that is angry or smiling is contagious. But being able to identify that there are some things that is outside of your control. So if I even go back to us now, like, you know, like living in direct provision, or you're still waiting for your residency to come, that is outside of your control. We cannot control that, but we can hope and we can pray and we can be positive about the outcome of what is going to come. So like for me, I know I got a rejection twice, and for the 2 times I got a rejection, I was very positive and hoping that I wanted a yes the first time, but that's outside of my control. But within my control, what was I able to do? What was I able to do is to get support around my mental health. It was able for me to be able to deal with the anxiety and the panic attacks that I was having. Is me recognizing that I'm in a place where I am safe, you know. So those things are within your control. It's identifying those things that are within your control and be grateful about the things that are within your control. There's many things that is outside of our control, you know. What is outside of your control is outside of your control. Is accepting that this thing is outside. There's something I learned with Naomi. She said, managing your expectations. And I think sometimes what frustrates us is when we expect somebody to behave a certain way towards us, or you give, or you're nice, especially like in direct provision, or if you're living in a community setting, you're helping somebody, and the one time you ask for help, the person is not helping you. You know, you already have expectation that because I've been helping this person is supposed to help me. But now the person is saying, oh, I'm very busy, and they're telling you story, and you know that the person is telling you stories. So it's being able to manage that expectation and knowing that, okay, this person is actually just trying to take advantage of other people, and the person doesn't know how to give back. Is to just know the expectations and being able to manage the expectations. So that's other people's behavior. Is managing other people's behavior. And also other people's idea is their idea, is not your own. So not trying to, yes.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. Let me explain this now because of our time.
Yeah.
And sorry for interrupting now.
That's okay.
I think we women, one of the most
thing that can cause stress for us too. Is how we manage our resources. How do you manage your resources? Do you cut before they say cut your coat according to your size, do you cut your coat according to your materials now? Because Sister J is using big car and I can't avoid it. Am I supposed to go and by all means and buy that? And now I'll be paying back. You know, the reason why I'm saying this now, we can be doing the theory. Let's come to the reality. You know me for that. So you don't have it, but your friend have it, and you want it by force. Can that not cause stress for you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you not manage your resources and what you have according to your ability? When you manage your resources, you cut your coat according to your material, you will sleep well.
Yeah.
And nobody will knock at your door. You are using here, I don't have the money. Can I not manage my hair? You are using clothes, or you are buying, if you remember now, Deborah, when we were doing parenting course, we were talking about brand. Because your one child is using a brand, and your child want to use the same thing. Is it compulsory for you to buy it and go and purchase it? And you will have food in your fridge. Does that not cause stress for you? So little things that can cause stress for we women is managing your resources. When you have clothes for winter, you have clothes for summer, and you have stocking, you have heater in your house, you have electricity, and you have roof on your head, you will be able to manage your resources. If you don't manage your resources, it will cause
stress,
panic attack. When you owe somebody money, it will cause panic attack for you. And it will bring stress for you. And you won't be able to sleep. Thank you.
Can I just answer a question? Sorry, there I'm bringing you back to someone.
Somebody's talking about sleep.
About sleep. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, is it a sleep? Yeah, I just want to come help that lady. I just wrote there that look at your sleep routine, and someone has said before that struggling to sleep, people watch TV, people bring their mobile phones. We are the first as parents to tell the child to bring your phone here to me. Bring your phone before you go to bed, and it's about winding down for sleep. How much of that do we do to ourselves? How many women have TVs in their rooms? I am number one. And if you want to sleep, what do you do with yourself to help you get sleep on an appropriate number of hours? You have to look at that. We are all different. We all have different jobs. You go for your 12-hour shift, you come home, you're tired. Somebody just need food, shower, and then you go to bed, you're gone. But some people, they actually struggle with sleep. And this is like, maybe it has to do with your thoughts, you have to have worries. The last speaker there talked about the things that we pick priorities and how that affects us. So how do you help yourself to get into bed and sleep? So it goes back to what I said earlier, knowing yourself. If we reduce those things that stimulate us, like time on TV, mobile phone use, and talking to yourself, telling yourself, this is bedtime, Esther, what do I need to do? If you want a book, some people books help some people to fall asleep. I don't like novels, so I read novels only to make me sleep. I always study. So you take a book into your bed, and it has to be a soft reading book, not a dark book, not a book that reminds you of shooting and this and that, because that keeps your mind kicking. A book that can relax you, maybe some love, some quiet, some relaxing music at the background, maybe after a shower. That helps some people. It does help me. So look at your self routine, look at your routine, look at your sleep hygiene. What do you usually do before bed? If it's about watching one movie, boom, 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 that will not help you. That will instead keep you awake. So it has to be something that is relaxing. And advise most women, I advise most of my friends to have your shower, like last shower for the night. Have your shower, dress warm, keep yourself warm, the room is warm. Sometimes over warm makes you not to sleep. So you have to know your body, you have to know what's right for you. So look at your sleep hygiene, look at what you do before bedtime. So by the time we are shouting at children, bring your mobile phone to me and go to bed now, you have to be able to put your mobile phone away as well and put the remote control off to help you sleep. So that will be my advice on sleep. Look, make sure you don't eat late. If you eat at 9, 10 o'clock, sorry, your stomach, you have to go to the toilet like twice before bedtime. So manage yourself. Look at what is right for you. Look at what works for you. Shower, low music or reduce light. Keep your mobile phone far downstairs. I'm really, really against the mobile phone because it's affected me. So what I do now with my mobile phone, Jane is going to laugh that you are lying. I switch it off and leave it downstairs. That's what I say. But practice is what is important. And go to bed. Tell yourself, self-talk. Tell yourself, this is nighttime. I need to sleep now. I need to sleep now. I need to sleep now and try, and it's going to work for you. Okay. So I hope that helps my sister. Sleep routine, sleep hygiene. It's very important. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I will give one more tip about sleep. For me, what I do is I do like breathing exercise. So I breathe in, I take in 4 breaths, I hold for 5, and then I breathe out for 6. That really does help. So you take in breath like 4 breaths, you hold, you count to 5, you hold it, and then you breathe out for 6. You find out that after you take in, you do it like twice, you start yawning. And you just do it continuously, because when you start breathing, instead of you to be focusing on the stress, you kind of focus on your breath and the counting. It relaxes you, and then it helps you to sleep. That always works for me. So if I'm getting stressed or the sleep is not coming, I do the breathing exercise. Another thing I do, I listen to podcasts. So like I have loads that I subscribe to. I subscribe to Super Soul. Super Soul is like Oprah's podcast, Joe Austin, just different. I just let the podcast play. I usually will do the breathing because that kind of supports my mental health. So that always works for me. So if you don't want to do 4, 5, and 6, you can do 2, 3, and 4. So you breathe in, you hold, and then you breathe out. That helps for me.
Okay. Sure.
So I think we'll just go through how you can handle stress, the things you can do to support yourself. I'm trying to remove this thing, it's not moving. Sorry. Okay, now technologies. No. Okay, I'll just go on. How we can deal with stress. So it's knowing that although there's stress and worry, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this by staying positive. We can handle stress by believing in ourselves. And we can knowing that stress is part of life. It's something that happens to everyone at a particular time. And if you are stressed, you are tense. If you are not stressed, you are free and you are happy. And I think somebody was talking about music. There's so much that you can enjoy with music. There's so much, depends on the kind of music that you like. If you like the jam one, or if you like the slow music, but I think the dance one will be nice, like just playing music at the background. And so even if you are very stressed, you start playing music, before you know what's happening, you're even singing along, especially if the song that you like. There's just this power of music. There's also relaxing, having me time. So if you're like a mom, if you by the time you take the phone from your kids and say, okay, give me your phone, time for bed, you can have your own me time and sit down and just read magazine. But don't, if it's phone, don't be on the phone for too long. Phone can be very addictive, can take you into 2 hours, 3 hours, and you're there. But just find time to have for yourself, because as parents or as mom, we tend to kind of give to everyone, but we don't give to ourselves. We go into the shop and we say, well, I'm going to get something for myself, but we go into the shop and go straight away to the children's department and buy for them. And then we get to our own side and we start to consider, oh, should I buy it for myself? Should I not buy it for myself? But the reason why you went to the shop in the first place is to buy for yourself. So it's having your own me time and learning to have to, as much as you give, as much as we give to our children, as much as we give to other people, we should also have that space to give to ourselves, put ourselves in the equation. Don't take yourself out. You are part of, because you even need you to be able to take care of everyone. So always remember that you are as important as your children, your spouse, your family, and the people that you relate with. And I will say the importance of physical exercise. Like before I came to Ireland, I didn't know how to even do exercise, wasn't even my thing. But now I run. So I mean, there's a group called Sanctuary, the Sanctuary Runners. So now I run, I do 5K, I go do marathon, I do relay. But for me, I think the beginning was kind of very difficult. So if you want to start doing exercise or going for a walk, is the walk is actually getting out of the house. But once you go for that walk and come back, you see how relaxed that you are. Especially if you walk in the park, you come back feeling very relaxed, very okay in your head and in your body. If you go with a friend, you have a chat, you have a laugh. There's so much more that you can gain with physical exercise. Healthy eating, mindfulness, we talk about, sitting down and just pause and breathe. Joining group like the coffee morning, or joining workshop and things that will just empower you, that will help. And also knowing that, like I said, stress is part of life, and try not to be too hard on yourself. Recognize, okay, this is stress, but what am I going to do about it? Not really sitting with it and having a cup of tea with it, but asking yourself, what can I do about it? And there's also being grateful, gratitude, like being thankful. That thing is so, you cannot undermine how important gratitude is, or being thankful is. Just waking up every day and being thankful for life, and looking back at your journey and being thankful for the journey, and thank yourself too, that your body have carried you this far. Your eyes have carried you this far, your legs have carried you this far, your stomach have taken all the food and everything that you've eaten. Your children, some of us, our children are with us, and some of us, our children are not with us, but they're in another country, but they are fine, that they are still alive. So there's hope that one day you will be with your children or with your family again. So just looking, just thanking, just being grateful, even just looking at, if for some of us, we are already in Ireland, but just recognizing that you are in a safe country and just being thankful about it. So gratitude has like a very strong force. It lifts your spirit. If you are stressed, stress kind of bring you down. But if you are grateful, if you are thankful, say, thank you for that I can breathe. And thank you. If you don't have anything to thank for, just thank every part of your body that is supporting you, and that is really very powerful. And also do what you can. When you're tired, rest. Do what you can. Do what your strength can carry you. If you're tired, you rest. Also writing, journaling helps, because like for me, before I just write, like I have like dear diary, but some of those things I was using a dear diary are kind of like reflections now. They're like poems. So if I kind of put them down, I have kind of like a mentor that's work with me with writing, and some of my work have been published. But you don't even have to publish to publish. You don't even have to think of, oh, I don't want to, but you can write, before you go to bed, you can just write thank you, or you can journal how you're feeling, because once it's big in the head, once you let it out, it becomes small. So journaling or writing helps. If you don't want to write it, you can speak it, you know, and speaking one positive word or the other, was actually saying how you feel. It reduces stress. And also seek help, you know, go to your GP and talk about what you're going through. Find a trusted friend and talk about what is going on with you. Don't keep it to yourself. Seek help and talk to someone and write. Like I said, write out your feeling, journal it, and let go of some things. There's some things that we are going through. That in one of my sessions, I remember the counselor was saying, it's not yours to carry. What somebody did to you, whatever pain that you are going through, the trauma that you're carrying, is not yours to carry. Drop them. The load is too heavy to carry. You're angry with somebody, it's too heavy. Why will you be carrying anger? Drop it. You know, we have to begin to let go of those weights or some of the things that don't support us. If you want to live stress-free, if you want to live ease in your body, there's some things we just have to let it go. Let it go. Let them go. Let them go. Let that person go. Let that event go. Let that sadness go. Let somebody say no to you today. Let it go, because tomorrow can be yes. You know, not just holding on to the no and treasuring it. It's not a treasure. It's not a, that is too heavy to carry. So it's important that we let go. And also in letting go, we should also surrender. I don't know, some of us were Christians, or you're Muslim, or you're Hindu, or there's a greater power that is bigger than us, that controls the universe. So sometimes you surrender to that power. For me, I will surrender to God and say, God, help me. You know, there's some things like we don't have control of tomorrow, and we worry about the tomorrow, but we can say, God, I give you tomorrow, help me. You know, whatever belief that you have, that is something that is outside of you, that is bigger than you, that knew you before you were created, you know, that takes care of your children when you are at home and you're in school. So it's surrender to that power. So it's important that we sometimes surrender and not hold on to things. So this is kind of like the last slide. If you could share some of the things that support you to deal with stress, that would be great. So I'm opening for the group again. What do you do to manage your own stress?
Yeah, I would thank you, Madam Deborah. I think let me say last 3 weeks I joined Women Coffee. So there was a time we were asked to come to I don't know the name of the place, but a bus came down here to convene all of us at River Park. Hey, stop it. So I think when I got there, the first person I met was Naomi, followed by there was a woman that we asked to go and drop the children with, and the third person I noticed was Madam Deborah. You know, when she came to share some few words with us, and I drew strength from our words. You know, that day she just talked to us. She might not know the kind of encouragement she gave to an hopeless person there. When she was talking, she was like, for the first time, I got no. I was like, in my heart, I was like, Jesus, I was shaking. But I know she was not looking at me. She was looking at everybody. She was just talking. Like the second time I got no, Jesus, in my heart, I was like, God, please, God. Which I said, and I had my paper. You know, I was so happy in me, because what I had is when you get no for the first answer, no for the second answer, the next thing is deportation. So when she told me she got a paper, God, I had this kind of strength in me, because I had the fear of unknown. That's always been eating me up. What is my fate? How about if they tell me no? How about if they ask me to go back to my country? Look at my children. You know, a lot of things have been going on, but you just keep it to yourself. But that's the way she talked to us. I was like, wow. So even when you still have no the first time, no the second time, there's still hope of you getting your paper. So from that day, there is this strength that I got. There's this I'm being encouraged, you know, and from 10, it reduced to 8. You know, stress of the children can just come up. There's nobody to keep the children with. I have 2 children, and you know, a lot of stress going on. But at least, yeah, I feel my strength. There's this power that I can do it. There's nothing coming to me that I can't undo. If somebody with like 4 children can handle it, and look at her, she's beautiful, glowing, and lot of things. And I was like, no, I can undo anything. Let me just be strong. So I just, I just say this to encourage someone that there's nothing coming that we cannot handle. As a woman, we are multitasking. You see a woman watching clothes, you are cooking at the same time, you're taking care of your children. So many things. So we are strong. Let's just have this hope. Let's just have the hope of the future is bright. Let's be strong. That's the word I just want to chip in.
Thank you for liking.
Thank you. I think Favor's hand is up.
Hi, everyone. Unlike me, when I'm stressed, I like saying it out. I don't like keeping it within me, because when I keep it within me, I will be restless and I can't sleep. So when I'm stressed out, I will just be talking. I like saying it. I will just like talking, just try to pull that out of me. Try to free myself from the stress, free myself from the anger. Just say it out. Yell, just shout, say it out, so that I can at least have a rest. Because if I didn't say it out, I will be restless and I can't sleep. So inside me, that is what I'm facing. Like, stress make me talk. It make me restless, and I cannot sleep when I'm stressed. So when I'm stressed, I like saying it out so that I can have my peace and rest. I'm trying to handle my stress in that way. I don't know if it's normal for me to handle the stress that way.
Did we lost Deborah? Hello, hi, Deborah.
Yeah, Lenovo's hand is up. Lenovo tab M10. Sorry. Would you like to share?
I think Grace's name.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm ready.
Hello.
Yeah, we can
Hello?
hear you.
Okay. I just want to ask a question. How can someone handle the stress at workplace? If somebody, like for example, now, if you go to work, maybe Monday or Tuesday, and you have 8-hour shift, 12-hour shift, and somebody tried to upset you for no reason. So in that situation, I just want an advice. How can you handle that stress?
Will anybody want to say something? Then I can add.
Okay.
Catherine, you want to say something?
Okay, maybe I should just say something. For me, when you finish 8-hour shift, and someone now gets you angry, I know that can be so. It can be so stressful. It can be so stressful when you are tired already. So for me, I will say, calm down. You will I will advise that you calm down. First of all, because of your own health. Because of your health, you calm down.
because as you are tired already and you stress out, and someone is now getting you angry, if you retaliate and you angry back, it may cause blood pressure. Your blood pressure will rise. Even if you don't have blood problem of high blood pressure before, if you are hungry, within a twinkle of an eye, it can spark your blood to rise. So you just calm down. When you calm down, you iron the issue later when your everything cool down. Even if you retaliate immediately, it will cause stress for you. And after that, you will say something that maybe you are not supposed to say. Now you will now realize maybe later that, oh, I will have not said this. And that's what you are thinking, that I will have not said it, because stress for you. Why can't you just calm down?
Sorry, can I just interrupt, Catherine?
Yes.
I think it has to be acknowledged that bullying in the workplace is a very common experience and very difficult to deal with. So if she has a supervisor that she might be able to talk to.
Yeah, that's what, if it's at work, if it's at work,
yeah,
she calm down, not to retaliate. And
no, but
report
I think
management.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
I think in the area of working, you need a supervision.
Mm-hmm.
In every organization that people work, they usually have someone who's supposed to be doing supervision for those things. In that way, you will be able to report to the management, this is the stress we are going through, because sometimes if you don't say something, things are not done. So I say in workplace, it's very important to report to the management. Thank you.
That is what I'm saying. I said, when the conflict, during that conflict, you just manage it. When you manage it, calmness is part of it. You have to be patient to resolve it. And to resolve it, you now go to the management to resolve the conflict. You can't retaliate. You are boiling in stress and someone is making you angry. You can't retaliate, because it will just cause another trouble, and it will the fire will just be the flame will just be coming. So for you, at this second party, you need to be calm for the person that is making you angry, and do the necessary things and follow the policy. Go and report, and they will resolve the conflict for you instead of you to retaliate. First of all, only what you're supposed to do is calm down and be patient and go and do the necessary thing. And if it's not in the house, if it's not at work, when you leave when you get home, or you are in the community, maybe you just finish your 8-hour shift and you now go to the community, you want to do a shop, you want to shop, and someone make you angry. Instead for you to retaliate, calm down and resolve it. That can reduce your stress, and it will reduce high blood pressure. Thank you.
Yeah, Catherine, sorry, I just have a contribution. For me, I think if you are working in such environment, it's good for you to confront the person that what they are doing to you is not acceptable.
That's correct.
And let them know that you're going to tell whoever is in charge about what is going on. But you have to tell the person that you're not happy with their behavior, and whatever they are doing to you is not acceptable. You have to let them know. Because some people, maybe if you tell them, they might adjust. They might be doing it without knowing. But some people are naturally bullies. But I think with bullies, you have to confront them and make sure you do that in a safe environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies. In addition,
sorry to come in now.
Okay.
We are saying the same thing. But what I'm saying is that at that particular time, they work at the working place, and that person is doing something nasty to you. For you to get angry and retaliate immediately, you calm down.
Yeah, you have to calm down.
Tell the person, but at that spot, if you say something, it can escalate. It won't resolve anything. But you calm down and you talk to the person and you do the normal thing. For me, it will work. But to retaliate immediately at the spot, it will cause another problem for you, for the person, for the organization. But to use maturity and calm down and do the necessity and talk to the person when you are calm, when you are boiling.
Yeah, don't do it when you're angry, yeah, for sure.
Yes, that's the point I'm ironing out, that when you are the person is angry, is doing nasty thing, and you are angry with the person, it won't work.
Yeah, it won't work. You have to be calm. You have to be calm before you confront them.
Calm down and now go to the person and talk to the fellow person. And if the conflict is not resolved, now you move to the management and you let them know what is going on, and they will resolve it if it can be. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, ladies. One more addition, please. I am seeing on the dashboard, what do you do to manage stress? Like myself now, my stress, I wrote there, I have number 5 as a stress. I have less stress, but since 2018, when I lost my mom, my stress was high. But this time around, I think God is helping me. You know, so like people say that if you are stressed, you can eat food. Some people can eat food. Some people can put music. Some people can watch movies. Even some people can go for a walk. Some people can go for window shopping from one shop to another just to ease their stress. Like myself now, I'm a kind of person that likes music. And a few weeks ago, I was so stressed because I got 2 jobs. So when I finished the other job, I have to be rushing to go for the next job. So I was a kind of so stressful. But my body, my stomach, my back, my chest, everywhere was aching me because I was stressed. And you know, women, we all manage our homes. Finishing 12-hour shift, coming back home, the kids, they are not yet eating. There is food in the house because you have boys, they can't do this. They depend on mommy, you know. So I'll come back and I start to make something for them to eat. So at the end of the day, you can see that I'm overstressed. So 3 weeks ago, my body was aching me, my chest, my back. Every time my husband will be massaging my back. Even I was thinking to go to my doctor, say, what is wrong with me? But when I started to ease myself, I love singing. I love my music. I start singing, dancing. Even on my birthday on the 15th, I was live video on Facebook, just dancing, having fun myself. So I realized that all my body now has come down to normal. I don't have any back pain. I don't have any stomach pain. I don't have any headache. My body was not upsetting again. So I think music is good. If you like music, that's my contribution in that area, how to manage your stress. You know, some people, they eat too much. Myself, I'm not a food lover, but you know, everybody knows what she or he can do to manage his or her stress. So that's my contribution. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, goodness.
I wanted to say something. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go on. I'm just conscious about time. We have about maybe 10 more minutes to round up.
I won't take much of your time. I'm going to be brief.
Okay.
I wanted to go back to the discussion we had before about how to manage someone, like if someone is giving you headache at workplace. I have similar place where I work, similar issue where I work. I think the best way to handle that issue is reporting to the management, because sometimes it depends on the environment where you are working. And then if you want to confront the person may make the issue to be more broad. But then if you report to the management, in that way, the management will be able to call the both people that are having issues. Then you'll talk about the issue. Then the management will be able to resolve it. In situation where the management know how to deal with this issue, because not all management know how to deal with the kind of work situation. And then to talk brief and summarize on what you say on how to manage stress. Individuals are different and they manage their stress in a different way. Like what work for A may not work for B. But then everyone you know your body well and know the things that suit yourself. So you go for the things that suit you. And sometimes it's very important that individual, like it may work, just like as I said before. It will be good for individual to organize yourself in the evening, how you are going to set a goal, how you are going to work the next day. In that way, if you set a goal, it will help you to be able to manage your stress and how to go about your activities. You know, at so time, you need to wake up. And at so time, from there, you have to finish what you are doing at so time and go the next hour. This is the time you have. So if people are able to organize their time and manage their time well, I think it will also reduce the stress you have and you do the things you can. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Grace. Okay.
May I add something, please?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. For the lady who was talking about stress at work, there is one thing that we human beings always need to know. You can manage your relationship with another person, but you can't manage that person's relationship with you. So if the other person is being mean to you, always be nice to them. If you're nice to them 3 times on a row, the next time they won't be mean to you. Be nice to them at the workplace. And if it goes out of hand, then you report to your supervisor. And I also love what the previous lady, Ms. Grace, said. She said, set your objectives every day. Every morning when you wake up, say to yourself, I'm going to have a beautiful day, regardless of Mr. X at work who likes to make me upset, or he likes to use some bad words at me, but I'll have a beautiful day. He would say everything and I'll ignore him. Once you have that in your mind, you go to work and he's saying anything, he'll be surprised that you're not responding. And then he'll know you have grown. And the next day, I'm not sure he'll do the same thing. So if you're able to set your objectives, know what you're saying to yourself. If he comes today, I won't respond. I won't take a look at him. And then most especially, always be nice to him and he'll be nice back to you. So that was just my contribution. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt again. It's just my experience, and also Jeanette will back this up. Of bullying at work, it doesn't matter sometimes how nice you are to bullies. It's about power. So in my experience, I mean, I've left jobs because I've been bullied. It's just been made unacceptable to be there. It's been made impossible. So I'm very keen that people know their rights at work. No one should have to be put up with bullying or racism or unacceptable behavior. Like Jeanette said, it needs to be confronted. But again, you have to have some support in order to do that. So we're always recommending join a union, know your rights and get the right support when you challenge power. I mean, people are bosses, they have more power than you have. So you can easily be dismissed. And there is no reason that you have to put up with unacceptable behavior, but many people do because they need the job, because they're feeding their families. So it sometimes does not matter what you do, however nice you are, it will not alter a bully's behavior. So I'm saying know your rights. I'd love to run a workshop where we do that. Know your rights at work, know your rights in society. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. Yeah, I'd just like to contribute a little bit to what Ellen is saying. What Annabelle also said is right, but I think with bullies, it's always right to confront them. Okay, try to do it in a safe environment. Make sure there's another staff around, in case they want to maybe implicate you or say you said or whatever. But make sure you confront them, because like if you say you're being nice, yeah, you're being nice, but at the same time, you're giving that person power to control you. Because bullies, they don't care. If they tell you, go and remove that rubbish, they remove it the first time because you're being nice. They come back again the next day. Even if there's another staff that is supposed to do that same job, because they know you're very nice, they'll come back. That particular bully will keep coming back to you and telling you, you have to remove that rubbish. Whereas, I'm just using this like an example, you have to clean that rubbish there. And that's a job that is assigned for everybody. But because you are being nice, that particular bully will keep telling you in particular to keep removing that rubbish. So if you notice something like that, I think it's good to confront them and tell them, look, I think I've noticed you keep coming to me, but that's a responsibility for other staff, same like me. Why is it only me? It's good to confront them. Do it, but do it, make sure you do it in a safe environment. And if it's not working, let them know that you're going to take it to the supervisor. I've had experience with people who work in companies, let me say, they know a particular day that you come to work. The other staffs who will be there 5 days a week, but you are there maybe twice or 1 day in a week. There's a particular dirty job that bully will keep in that particular job for you. Whereas there are others that can clean that mess up. But because you are being nice, they will keep coming to you. So bullies are bullies. They don't care. If someone hates you, they hate you. Like Ellen is saying, you have to know your right at work. You must know your rights. If you are being bullied, you know you are being bullied. And bullying is not something that we should take lightly.
Janet, sorry, can I interrupt you? Let me just chip in something. Let me add to what you are saying now. You know, in an organization or in any company or anywhere, even in the community, we let me say, we address issue in a different way as it comes. You know, in a situation of bullying, is different from someone that shouts on you. It's different from, you know, conflict come in a different way. So in someone that harass you, there will be a way you will address it. Someone that bully you, there's a way you address it. So in that will not cause any problem to the company or to the organization. So I will just say, in my own view, we address every issue in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But make sure don't take it home, because like today we are talking about stress, and Deborah has been talking about different ways of coping with stress. We've contributed our own ways of coping with stress. Bullying is another form of stress. If you keep going to that work environment every day, and then you take that baggage with you back home without confronting it. That's stress already. So you must deal with it. And they are always, every company has a policy when it comes to bullying. I think every company in Ireland has it. So if you are going into a company, make sure you read about the policy, know your rights. Because if you don't know your rights, there are some staffs that people will be at the same level and they'll be pressing you like this. Just because they know you're new and you don't know your rights. So always know your rights. It's very important.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for sharing. And for me, I'll just end with don't give people the power they don't have over you. So if there's need to report, you report, and don't carry it. Know that as much as you're working, and I think what is different from where we are coming from, a lot of us is here there's rights, and these rights you can exercise it. There are laws, and these laws you can exercise it. There is support groups, and these groups you can take advantage of them. There's reporting. It works. The system works. So don't give people the power they don't have over you. So I will just conclude with that. So thank you very much, everybody, all the ladies that showed up today. Thank you, Vision, for allowing us to talk about this. It's just been a privilege, and Naomi is not here, but thank you, Naomi, for always putting the responsibility for me to say, okay, Debbie, go. Catherine is going to back you up. Yeah. So I just want to thank Nano Nego Place, Catherine, all the ladies that have showed up today, and all the ladies, we have all supported ourselves in this journey. So I'm thanking all of you. And Jeanette, and I say again, thank you for showing up. I didn't know I would see you today, but you showed up. So thank you very much for being strong and resilient. And yeah, so thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay. Thank you so much. And also, I would like to let you guys know this is not the last workshop. We're going to have another one in January 28th. So I'll let you guys know about a particular session as well. So if you guys have any idea about what topics in regards to mental health that you guys might want us to discuss, I'll take that into consideration, and then we'll get a speaker who will come to talk about that particular session. Thank you. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate your time and all the sacrifices that you guys made just to attend this training. So
thank you.
Okay, bye now.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Ladies of PMCN, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Miss Yoga.
Auntie Grace is here.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you
Grace.
so much.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Auntie Grace.
I'm sorry I came late. Next time I'll make it up.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry. Bye.
Bye, Gunas. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Andras. Bye.
Bye, Gunas. Bye.
Bye. Doris.
Debbie.
Enjoy your weekend. Rudina, you are here. Maggie. Annabelle.
Yeah.
Enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy your weekend.
Bye.
Debbie.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Just hang on. Don't go just yet. I just need a quick
Okay.
word at the end. Yeah, thanks. While everybody's gone.
Bye. See you. Bye.
Hi. I just wanted to say to Debbie and Catherine, could we talked about this, me and Jeanette, could we review this session at some convenient time to yourselves?
Say that again.
Could we review this session? Could we just
Okay.
go over, you know what I mean, what came, because in a sense, it's what people say that will dictate where we go next. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Be in a good position to summarize. And also this, I was looking at, I've just been making lists of what's the advantage of Zoom? We had a lot of participants. That was fantastic, 30 people, up to 32 at one point. So, and also the COVID thing, it does allow a lot of people to participate. So it's just like looking at the advantages, disadvantages, and what you would recommend, you know, where we might go next in terms of what came up today. I mean, I've made a few points from what people were saying, but I'd love to have a review with you. I think that's just important, how you felt it went and so on. When would be convenient for you to do that? It would just be another Zoom call, I think.
Evenings are okay for me. I have classes on Wednesdays, but every other day is okay in the evening. So 5, 6 ish.
Whatever, whenever suits you, actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
If you could, I don't know the technology to know how difficult this is or how easy is it. Or is it something you and Jeanette can just talk about? You know, is that the simplest way of doing it?
Yeah, that's okay.
How about maybe we can talk on WhatsApp and see what.
Yeah, maybe, rather than setting up.
Or maybe, and you can handle that since a little bit, and then we'll contact you and then two of you.
I'm trying to take off as much of from Jeanette as
possible. Yeah, because my head is right.
Yes, I know, I know. So is that okay? So would you, shall I call you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. When suits? Sorry.
Tuesday is okay.
Tuesday evening.
We can do Tuesday. Yeah. Mondays. Yeah. All the kids have activities on Monday. So.
Well, look, if you're busy, you're busy. At some point, if we just do it soonish.
We can do Tuesday. Later. We can do Tuesday. Say, 3. Tuesday.
Yep. Perfect. Phone Debbie. Right. If I forget, you can phone me. I'm old. Jeanette,
Debbie, better phone her because
I'm old and stupid. Okay, so feel free to phone me if you haven't, and I'll go, "Who's Debbie? Why are you phoning me?"
Okay.
Okay, that'd be great. Just to have a summary of what's going on. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that. It was fantastic.
You did very well, Debbie.
Was very good.
Super. You and Catherine. Contribution was great.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, it was brilliant. And it was just so good to see so many and hear so many participants. It was brilliant. You know, we couldn't have had 30 in the room. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
No.
Due to COVID, there wasn't any way we could get out. Oh my God.
Absolutely. So I mean, come after us. I was thinking, this is not going to work on Zoom, and yet it worked brilliantly. It's fantastic. I'm so pleased with that, actually, because I had me doubts.
Sorry if I may ask, Janet, that's early. In Highfield Park.
That's all, we're neighbours. This is, sorry, Deborah, we all live in Highfield Park. You know, this is a cabal, this is.
Because I'm lost now, like,
oh my goodness.
You'll have to move.
Which girl in Highfield Park are you talking about?
Yeah, what we couldn't do if you all lived in Highfield Park, it'd be brilliant.
That'd be nice. All right. Wow, I really enjoyed this session.
So did I. There was a lot of I love what this is what I really want to focus on as well. I love what you said, Deborah, about the resilience, basically, about for feck's sake you got here. And that whole thing of, I mean, that's just true of everybody. I consider myself an immigrant. I'm English. And the reason I left my own country was because of the politics, Margaret Thatcher. And how evil it had become. It's only become more evil. So I didn't have to sort of cling onto a lorry to get here. But nevertheless, that whole thing of adjusting to a very different society and all of that. But that whole thing of focusing on the resilience. Anyway, so that's something we can, because that's so positive. That was a really, and I love Marie's again, focusing on the body. Because that's something, I'm 66 and I've been nursing in education and social community development for years. And it's something I am very, very keen on is the physical basis for mental ill health, you know? So Monique Marie's talking about singing and dancing. I'd love a dancing group.
Yeah. We do yoga here. We do yoga on Fridays. So we didn't get to do it today, like.
And we have a very good dancer among us. Great.
Dancing and singing, definitely.
Some dancing steps. Dancing is very good.
No problem.
And also that when we come in, that they can be teachers then. They can be teaching, you know, they're educators because they are experts in their own cultural expressions, like singing and that. You know what I mean? I was in a choir, community choir. I'm very upset because of COVID and we can't have the choir at the moment. And it's been huge for my mental health. I live on my own and it's like, and we can't do it at the moment, but I can feel really miserable, you know, winter's day on a Tuesday and I'm going, I'm not going to choir. It's raining, it's miserable, it's horrible. Yeah. And the minute I'm there, it's like, boom. It's like being a different person. So I know the value of it is huge. So I think we need to do a sing song as well. Anyway, thank you so much. That was brilliant. I'm energized now.
Thank you.
I'm
glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was very, 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 very brilliant. Thank you.
It was really good. Right. Really good.
Yeah.
Very informative.
I'll speak to you on Tuesday then, Debbie.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later. So.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
How do I turn this off now? Don't go. How do I turn this off?
You guys want to? Okay.
I need help. I don't know how to go.
I'll end you guys. I end the session.
Yeah.